The next morning, the air inside the nursing home felt different. Not quiet, not forgotten, charged. By midday, the article Helen had published was everywhere. Phones buzzed. Social media exploded. Neighbors shared it. Former coworkers reposted it. Even people who barely knew our family were talking about it. Local man accused of forcing elderly mother into nursing home to sell family home. The headline spread through town like wildfire. When Derek stormed into my room that afternoon, I knew before he opened the door. His footsteps pounded down the hallway. The handle twisted violently. He burst inside red-faced and furious. "What did you do?" he shouted. For the first time in my life, I didn't shrink from him. I sat calmly in the chair beside the window. I told the truth. His face twisted. "You have any idea what you've done to me?" I almost laughed. Done to him? For weeks he had treated me like I was already dead. "You forged my signature." His jaw tightened. "You can't prove that." At that exact moment, Helen stepped into the doorway. She wasn't alone. Behind her stood a police detective and an attorney from the county prosecutor's office. The color drained from Derek's face. The detective held up a folder. "Actually," he said, "we're here because we believe we can." Derek looked from one face to another. For the first time, he looked afraid. The investigation moved quickly. Much quicker than Derek expected. The forged deed was examined by handwriting experts. Bank records were subpoenaed. Property documents were reviewed. And every single trail led back to him. The truth was even uglier than I imagined. Months before Mother's Day, Derek had secretly taken out loans he couldn't repay. His business had failed. Credit cards were maxed out. Collection agencies were calling daily. Selling my house wasn't a sudden decision. It was his plan all along. He had been preparing for nearly a year. The nursing home wasn't a solution. It was part of the scheme. Once I was out of the way, he intended to sell the house, pocket the money, and disappear before anyone noticed. What he never expected was resistance. He thought age meant weakness. He thought loneliness meant silence. He thought mothers always forgive. He was wrong. Within 2 weeks, criminal charges were filed. Forgery, fraud, elder financial exploitation. The sale of my house was frozen immediately. The new buyers, horrified by what happened, cooperated fully. The transaction was reversed. The property returned to my name. When I heard the news, I sat beneath the cloudy nursing home window and cried. Not because of the house, because of what it represented. The garden, the blue front porch, the oak tree, the life my husband and I built together. It was coming home. Meanwhile, Derek's perfect image collapsed. The neighbors who watched him drag me away now crossed the street when they saw him. Friends stopped calling. Coworkers distanced themselves. Even members of his own family refused to defend him. Every lie he had built his reputation on began to crumble. One afternoon, nearly a month after the article appeared, I was called to testify at a preliminary hearing. The courtroom was packed. Reporters lined the back wall. Residents from town filled the seats. Some of the nursing home staff came too, including the young aide who had first whispered those words to me. "I believe you." When I entered, Derek sat at the defense table. For the first time, he looked small. No expensive suit could hide it. No confident smile remained. Just fear. The prosecutor asked me to tell the court what happened. So I did. I spoke about Mother's Day, the suitcase, the forged papers, the threats, the humiliation. I spoke about the oak tree where my husband's ashes rested. I spoke about being treated like baggage. The room grew silent. Several people wiped tears from their eyes. When I finished, Derek refused to look at me. The judge stared at him for a long moment. Then he said something I will never forget. Growing old is not a crime. Trusting your child is not a weakness. The words echoed through the courtroom. And for the first time since Mother's Day, I felt something inside me heal. Months later, Derek accepted a plea deal. He avoided prison but received probation, restitution orders, community service, and permanent financial penalties. His professional licenses were revoked. His reputation never recovered. As for me, I finally left the nursing home. The day I returned to my house, the entire neighborhood seemed to appear. People stood on their porches. Some applauded. Others simply smiled. The same neighbors who had watched in silence now welcomed me home. I walked slowly up the front path, past the flower beds, past the porch, past the blue door. Then I stopped beneath the oak tree. The branches swayed gently in the ocean breeze. I knelt and placed my hand against the rough bark. For a long moment I said nothing. Then I whispered to my husband. I kept my promise. The wind rustled the leaves above me, and somehow it felt like an answer. Today, when people ask if I hate Derek, my answer surprises them. No. Hatred is too heavy to carry. What happened changed me forever. But it also taught me something important. A mother's love is powerful, but a mother's dignity is priceless. No child, no matter how grown, has the right to take that away. If there is one lesson in my story, it is this. Never mistake kindness for weakness. Never assume age means helplessness. And never underestimate a woman who has spent her entire life surviving storms. Because sometimes the person everyone thinks is broken is simply gathering the strength to stand again. And when they do, the truth becomes stronger than any lie. The Mother's Day Derek tried to erase me became the day he destroyed himself instead. Did you like this story? Which city are you listening from? Let's meet in the comments. If you enjoyed this, support the channel with a super thanks so I can keep bringing you more stories like this. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next one.